So I wanted to make this video for myself. Just as little reminders. Yeah, last night a few quite interesting experiences came into play. Yesterday, first of all, I just got back to Canada and I used the last of my money that I currently had in physical form to book a one-way ticket to Costa Rica. I mean, I've done this 1,000 times, book one-way tickets, no money, it's all good. Anyway, I booked that, and yesterday I went into fear and lack and worry and doubt, the spiral of the mind. Anyway, we know how that goes. And then I decided to put on music. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable. I decided to put on music and clean and dance and organize and pack and just get everything ready and focus on that. So I did that, and obviously it grounded me in my body, completely lifted me out of the mind, and brought me into such deep joy and presence and truth in my being, in my knowing, in my worth. Anyway, and then I received a few more experiences that pushed me into fear so strong. And it was like some very old ghosts, let's say, from the past, kind of came in, poked into the field, and reminded me of a very interesting time of turmoil and confusion and projection and all of it. Shadow and light, the war. It was like the trauma frequency of the war, let's say. So I went into really deep fear, and I began to spiral. And I began to spiral some more. And then I began to spiral some more. And then at this point, I was like, right, okay, catch myself. What do I do in times of fear and uncertainty? Do I take control? And do I create that stability and that safety? And no, I don't. So exactly what I did was the opposite. And I happened to have LSD. So I dropped some LSD. Here's a plane. And thus began my journey of death again. Yeah, so dropped the LSD, I built my altar, and I made my offering to the different deities, gods, spirits, ancestors. I had my opening prayers, and the veil started to dissolve. Game on. At this point, all the beautiful visuals are coming in, the feelings, and spirit starts whipping through the space like no tomorrow. And my mind is still there, analyzing, judging, making assumptions, holding on to its sense of safeties. And in that moment, I realized how much my mind is keeping me in a specific reality based on how comfortable I am in surrendering to God. Ego holding on to control to find safety, which is what pushed me into the ceremony with the lack of money. So, which is not real. This is just funny. Spirit plays all kinds of beautiful psyops on us to invoke what gets to be cleared. Anyway, so I'm journeying in this ceremony. I realize my control. I realize my fear. I realize my holding on of the mind and my half trusting God, my half trusting spirit, my half trusting my soul. And I let go because I seen it for the first time. I mean, really seen it. And at that point, my body started to uncontrollably shake and flip around on the ground. But if anybody else was there, they'd probably believe I got possessed. Which is okay, because I know what happened. The Spirit of God fucking blew up inside of me, and I died. I mean, I died. My body twisted and turned in every way, and I was in and out of form, being informed by higher vibrational forms down into this form. So this beautiful dance and co-weaving of spirits, of ancestors, and star beings, of the Lineage Masters, of the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. The co-weaving begins. I mean, really begins. And this goes on and on and on. All kinds of experiences are happening. I don't need to go into detail, but divinity is making itself known. God is making itself known. Spirit is making itself known, loud and clear, basically. I'm just running through my mind, not even my mind, programs, belief systems, not from this life, from many lives, from many, many, many lives, in many forms. It's like Spirit was ripping through the file cabinet and pulling out any piece of paper, for example, that did not align with the new truth I was surrendering into. God, faith, divinity, divine inheritance, divine rebirth. So Spirit's ripping through this cabinet, pulling out all of these files, let's say, and throwing them into the fire. And as each one goes into the fire, my body is shaking, and the screams of those belief systems are purging my body as they merge back with Ram. Because all of these belief systems were things that created separation from God, from my own ego identification. So all of these belief systems, all of these systems and programs and patterns that had me separate or believing or agreeing to a structured awareness that created the illusion of separateness was purging. And underneath that was the depth of pain my being was carrying from living in that illusion of being separate from God or unworthy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just gonna go in here. So all of this is purging, and I started having the Sophia dragons kind of appeared in my reality a few days ago, and I've had many experiences with dragons before. One of the first beings I connected to when I started this work were the dragons and angels, which are all part of the same order of light. Yeah. I have been having, sorry, I'm walking through the woods. I'm trying to find my seat. Un memento. Mr. Hemlock. I'm sitting at the hemlock tree, very spiritual tree. Holds a lot of information, a lot of wisdom. Ancestor tree. Yeah, so returning to God is a journey. And I don't remember what I was saying before. But yes, this is your path to God. This is your path to God. That is one of the biggest takeaways. This is your path to God. This is your path to God. Anyway, so these experiences keep happening. Divine realizations like that, like these huge messages from the spirit world keep coming in like that, and they're landing on many levels. So that one word, I'm saying it, this is your path to God. It goes far beyond whatever you're perceiving it as. It is much more multi-dimensional, multifaceted, and multi-layered than just one word. And that is what I was realizing. That is one of the things I realized. Every word has multiple meanings, multiple levels. And I realized the importance of the languaging we use, of the words we use. And I also remembered and unlocked the secrets to names. It is a frequency energy signature. And for example, I had my spirit name and my regular name, human name, in front of me. And I started embodying the spirit name. And then I became Deva Soul, Deva Soul, Deva Soul, Deva Soul, Deva Soul. I became that energy signature. And then I began to work with Ryan. Rihanna, 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 Rihanna. So within each and every single person's name is the key codes to a huge part of their awakening. And I went through this list of all these people I'm connected with, and I started to speak their name. Because at that point I was interested. I was like, okay, say it enough, and then the truth starts to come through. And sure enough, with every single person, the 3D word, the 3D name, and then again and again, the energy signature of their incarnation stepped forward. And the truth of their soul, the truth of their power, their organic blueprint is right there. Right behind their energy signature, their name. So realize the importance of names and how beautiful it is to have a name. and how sacred it is to have a name. And I feel like I sanctified and reclaimed Ryan, Ryana, 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 Raya, Raya, Raya. And at this point, Ryan changed to Ryana, 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 Ryana. And as it's Ryana-ing, I began to turn into a dragon. And then Ryana changed into Rhea, which is my dragon form. Rhea, 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 Rihanna, Rhea, Rhea, Rhea. So this is how the night is kind of going in decoding this third dimensional realm and accessing the higher embodiments of my soul. Because we are existing throughout all time and space, from the bottom to the top, as all things. It is all one. So it was a very fun time of playing in the realms, learning to surrender to spirit, and learning to decode. And that is one fractal of this 10-hour out of body, in body, out of body, in body, out of body, in body experience. Yeah. At one point, the deepest cry was coming from me that I did not even know was in me. A loud man voice that felt like it was shaking the earth. And I felt like I was all men. And I was screaming, Rama, Ram, Rama, Ram. I was screaming and crying for Ram, which has never happened before. And that was my first experience merging with God in such a way that it was not outside of me. Every cry was invoking the fire of Ram within my soul, which began to illuminate lifetimes of shadow being blindedness from God, not seeing, not realizing God. It's here, it's inside, it's all around. This is all God. So every cry, Ram, Ram, Rama, Rama, this fire began to blaze. And at this point, my body flipped back on the ground, and I don't know how it was standing upside down in like the back arch and also shaking like crazy, and my spine is moving. And what begins to happen is the candle flame goes and what starts coming through is Shakti Kundalini, Shakti Kundalini, Shakti Kundalini, Shakti Kundalini, Shakti Kundalini, Shakti Ma 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 Kundalini, 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 Shakti Ma, Kundalini, Shakti Ma, Kundalini, Shakti Ma, Kundalini, Shakti Ma, Kundalini, Shakti Ma. And as this is happening, this experience is just too personal. Wild things are happening, basically. And I am feeling two dragons spiraling up my spine as from the root of my spine, these screams were rising with the dragons. It's like the dragons coming up in their breath was like coming through me like blood-wrenching screams. But it was like they were, for example, it was like they were moving water up my spine or fire, and it was pushing out everything that has been held within my central channel. And as this is all coming out and shaking and frequencies and sounds and vibrations, I'm also hearing, throughout this all, I'm hearing the spirit world and ancestors singing and chanting and voices, and things are whipping in and out, and dragons and angels and beings and God and Holy Spirit and fire and Pachamama, and all of it is just this chaotic, beautiful mess that somehow was so peaceful. Throughout it all, I was just present. So my body is shaking and screaming and vibrating and releasing lifetimes of suffering and pain, and merging with God and merging with Ram and merging with Pachamama and merging with Great Spirit and merging with my soul. It rises up, and at this point, my tongue does that. And at this point, like, the sound starts coming out of me that I've never heard before. I'm not gonna try and imitate it. But it was the dragon. It was the Sophia. And everything is so perfect, because I was on the phone with my friend a few days ago, and she talked about the Sophia dragons. And I've had experiences with dragons many times. Call them in, draw their light language. However, I never really had the clarity of the Sophia lineage, the dragons being of the Sophia lineage. So anyway, she tells me about the Sophia dragons, and then into my field materializes a crystal dragon the next day. And this dragon, immediately when I receive it into my field, I'm like, it's the Sophia dragons, and I felt them with me ever since that moment. And then I'm telling another friend about this experience, and she gives me the Sophia code. And I read Sophia code 2 nights ago, 777, the dragon lineage. And while I'm reading this book, I'm weeping. I am remembering. Something inside of me is knowing it's true. Because what I lived last night, the day after, was exactly what I had read. Exactly what I had read. And I have been working with Babaji for over 1.5 years now. He has materialized into my reality, my awareness. And I never really had him come in through any of these other spiritual teachings, but in this specific key code 777, in the Sophia code, he's there. And I wept reading it. And during this whole experience, as the dragons, as they reach my crown, and I start to experience Sophia, and I start to surrender into her, I mean, really die into her. Babaji. Babji. God is alive and well and exists far beyond your perception. So trust and surrender. Surrender and surrender again. Die into God every moment. Throw yourselves in the fire of Ram. Throw yourselves into the waters of Sophia. Become the infinite, vast emptiness. Empty yourself. There is so much more on the other side. When we die to God, when we give our lives to God, we live for the first time. We're not meant to do it on our own. We're not meant to be separate. It's our own ignorance. It's our own blindness. Die in grace. Die in God. Return home. So I'm going to continue. It's very sporadic. I will apologize. This is very sporadic because I'm trying to bring all of these experiences in. And I can't quite grasp exactly a timeline of how they came in because it was all one rotating field, all happening at once. And for those who have experienced the spirit realms of co-weaving, you understand the infinite oneness of all things and of those states. All things are here, past, present, and future, all unbirthed potentials, all wheres, whens. It's all here, simultaneously happening. And the more you surrender and die into God, the more you don't try and focus, the more you don't look at one thing and hone in on one thing, you let go of it all, and it all makes itself known. Because the minute you focus on something, the whole picture becomes blurry except for the one thing you're focused on. So now apply that to suffering. Apply that to anything. This is the importance of detachment, which I now understand, now understand. To see clearly, we must detach. We must step back and just observe the painting, creation. We must allow it to be as it is, to really see what it is. God. We are within the womb of Mother, Father, God, Source, Creator. Twisting and turning and birthing and dying and None of it's wrong or right. It is as it is. So all these experiences are happening, and I want to share specifically one of the most potent transmissions that was coming through. And I was saying specific names. And also then it became, or not even me, God, was, these specific beings were coming up into this trans channel. Then it became a shared transpersonal experience. And as each one of these people got brought up into this channel by God, this very strong message with the fire of the Sophia dragons, it was rolling, 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 and rolling in waves and sheets of fire that were like blazing crystals or ice. Rise up now, rise up now, rise up now, rise up now. Again and again and again. Chills rushing like rivers through my being as I feel the Spirit of God directly pointing at the beings who came here to rise up at these times, to surrender their personal life into the fires of Ram, to be purified as a true spiritual warrior and ambassador of the heavenly kingdoms, to usher in this golden age, to usher in this unification back into the harmonic source field of divine intelligence, of divine perfection, and divine presence, omnipresence, all-encompassing, all-loving, all things, all. We are returning. We are returning. We are returning. We are returning. Shakti Ma Kundalini, 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 Shakti Ma Kundalini. Dragone, 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 rise up now, rise up now, rise up now, rise up now. Shakti Ma Kundalini, Shakti Ma Kundalini, Shakti Ma Kundalini, Shakti Ma Kundalini. Gaia, 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 Pachamama. She is a goddess beyond our perception, and she is holding us every step of the way. Give thanks. I am saying this from such a deep state of clarity, knowingness. Give thanks to Pachamama. Honor her. Acknowledge her. She is doing more than you could ever comprehend. Not just for you, not just for the beings on this planet, on her physical body, her physical form. This is the form this specific being, deity, Gaia, the specific galactic being, Star Mother, Lady Gaia, Earth Star, Mother. This is her body, her form, just like this is our body, my form. Her soul is within that. Her soul is what birthed, crystallized, and materialized this form. Our body is a manifestation of our blueprint, of our soul. It is a complete crystallization of our spirit into form. This is how it happens. We bloom from spirit. We bloom a body into form. And then that body, like a flower, has its experience, and it wilts, and it retracts, and it returns back into matter, back into spirit. And this is the journey. It doesn't end. We keep blooming into new forms of incarnation, and through that form, we receive the divine guidance, the divine inheritance, the divine codes that upgrades our blueprint to then embody a new form. And it's all happening simultaneously. It's not like we're going there, we're going up or down, or it's all happening in this rotating field, this womb of unmanifested potential. It's all one. We are one source field. But within that one source field, there are sheets, layers of planes of consciousness where we are birthing in and out of form, writing, constructing, and building our soul blueprint, our spirit, our God-Goddess selves. And we rise with the Shakti Ma Kundalini Sophia dragones as our guides. We rise the ladder, remembering it's not in this third dimensional dualistic up-down. They are planes of consciousness based on our level of surrender and unification with the living spirit of God. And each form we incarnate into, it is our work, whether we choose it or not, to surrender further and further into God until no more. No more thing. No thing. No more things. Nothing. Until you become the whole thing. And then you are the loving awareness of God holding space for every other fractal lineage member rising the ladder into the infinite oneness of God. The harmonic source field, the source field of harmonic resonance. We are returning. We are awakening. We are true spiritual warriors. And the work we have to do is within ourselves. It's not out there. It is not out there. If you could understand the way I understand now, nothing is done out there. That's the trick. We're all tricked into trying to make it happen out here. It's not done out here. It's done within here. It's done at the altar. All the work is done at the altar. Return to the altar. And if you don't have a physical altar representing the altar, the heavenly kingdoms, the altar of God, I highly recommend you build one. You create an altar to your unique evolution, whatever it is. Angels, whatever, Jesus, fucking plants. Whether you're in shamanic practices, whether you're in Hinduism practices, whether you're in religious practices, it does not matter. And I really, really, really see that now. It does not matter. The form does not matter. Behind the form is the living spirit of God. And when we surrender and worship into that, when we return again and again and again to the altar of God, in whatever form we are choosing to perceive it through, whatever physical form we are most comfortable worshiping God and opening and surrendering into God through, use it. And don't be ashamed. And don't be afraid. You are worthy. Believe me. You are worthy of it. You are worthy to know your place as an ambassador of God. You are worthy to know who you really are, who you really are, who you really are, who you really, really are. Not who you think you are, not this body, not the things you do, don't do. All of that is illusion. Good, bad, right or wrong. I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. I'm in alignment because I'm not doing that. All of that, that's just your trip. And again, it's not right or wrong. We have built within us an intuitive system of organizing and structuring frequency and codes because it is in our design, it is in our blueprint. We know how to navigate this energetic field to receive the codes we need to receive for our most optimal awakening. And that looks different for every single person. Different diets, different practices, working with different beings, different aspects and embodiments of God. But there is one truth within it all. It is all God, and we are all returning. And that's all we need to know. It is all God, and we are all coming home. It doesn't matter what path we take home. You know. Not up here, in there. Release this, drop into that. Trust. Whatever it is your soul is calling you towards. You know that is the fire that's gonna purify you and bring you ever closer to God. There is no separation. You and I are the same. This life is just an illusion. It's all a silly game. So let us play the game with focused intention, conscious awareness, and unconditional love, recognizing we are all on our way home. We are all learning how to merge back into God. And there is nothing to be afraid of. So let us remind each other, let us love each other in these times, beyond all form, with the awareness that we are coming home. We are returning, every single one of us. not a soul is left behind. Not a soul gets left behind. Not a soul gets left behind. It is impossible. It is impossible. It is impossible. It is all us. We are one soul. We are one family. We are one spirit. We are one God. We are one creation. And we are the fractal lineage here on earth and beyond, returning into wholeness, releasing the one-pointed focusedness on our little form, expanding and dying into the whole picture. We are a crystal, a diamond. We are all little points of this diamond, all our little incarnations, all our little, we think we're so separate in our little aspect of the diamond, in our little fractal of the diamond. We are the whole diamond. And that is the awareness and embodiment God is calling upon us all. Because when we are in that awareness, we do not hurt another. We do not shame another. We do not blame, exile, or cut out, or separate ourselves from another. We die into the other. Again and again and again, we die into the earth. We die into our family. We die into our friends. We die into God. We die into our practices. We die into our incarnation, and then we rise. Life is death. Death is life. We have it backwards. Life is death. It is the journey of dying into God. And trying to stay alive here is not the point. Trying to be alive is not the point. We are life. The point is dying. The point is dying. So release the fear of death and recognize that is your greatest power. Our greatest power that God has given us is death, and that cannot be taken away. And the very thing we are threatened with in this earth plane is death itself. When death itself is God itself, death itself is our true form. It is our greatest power. It is our greatest embodiment. It is our greatest privilege. Fear not, fear not, fear not. The dead appear living, and the living appear dead. I'm going to say it again. The dead appear living, and the living appear dead. Meaning, the dead being here, the unconscious, the striving, the suffering, the figuring it out, the hate, the blame, the shame, all of that, that is the dead appearing as the living. We're walking around and we're like, we're alive, we're alive, we're alive. We're dying. Life is a journey of death. And that is the most beautiful thing. We are here to die. The pain is the fire. I'm telling you. I surrendered into every ounce of pain inside my being. I cried for the earth. I cried for my family. I screamed for my siblings. Both blood and not. I screamed for God. I screamed for the angels. I felt every ounce of suffering. I felt every ounce of pain. I felt every ounce of darkness and disgust. Through love. through God, through death, without fear. Crystal light, shine so bright, take the fright from my sight. May I see with crystal light, beyond the illusion of the night, into everlasting light. Crystal light, shine so bright, take the fright from my sight. May I see with crystal light, beyond the illusion of the night, into everlasting light. This life is the illusion of the night. This mind is the illusion of the night. It's the illusion of separateness. It is the shadow that overcasts the true presence of God, the true presence of you, the true presence of the Holy Spirit, the true presence of your fractal lineage, the ascended masters, who are all your family. They are your family. They're not separate from you. You are worthy of them because you came from them. You are of them. You are them. You are the lineage masters. They are you. They are you guiding you. They are us guiding us. It's all now. We are them. We are the family of light. We are the ambassadors of God, coming in and out of form, and it's timeless. That is your family. So fear not, and be not ashamed or feel any source of unworthiness when you pray unto the ascended masters. When you pray unto your fractal lineage, when you pray unto the highest order and council of light, know it is you, know you are worthy of it, and know it is your true place, your true form, your most humble embodiment. It's, again, everything is not as it seems. We think being humble is playing small. It is the complete opposite. The most humble thing we can do is die into God and become the embodiment of the ascended masters, to become the embodiment of the ambassadors of God. That is the most humble thing we can do. It is our ego that plays the other side of that, because it feels separate. So there's a deep unconscious belief system of not claiming our divinity, our true, humble sovereignty. Out of the false belief system that it is noble to play small, that it is humble to be normal. It is disrespectful. It is disrespectful. And I realize that. And I'm saying this to myself because this is what I just unbroke within myself last night. I have played small my entire freaking life for the sake of being a good person, for the sake of being humble. And I was foolishly mistaken. Very, very foolishly mistaken. I am God. Please call me by my true names, so I may see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true names, so I may see that my joy and pain are one. Rama, 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 our highest embodiment. Rama, Christ, Sophia, Babaji, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Ganesha, Lakshmi Ma. All of this, these are our true names. These are our true names. It is just much a part of us as it is a part of the form you are looking at. That is us. You are praying to yourself. You are praying to a higher embodiment of who you really are. So release the shame, release the separateness, and recognize it's you you're praying to. A version of you you just haven't met yet, or realized yet, or integrated into wholeness yet. It is a part of you that you still believe is outside of you because you haven't yet allowed yourself to be that close to God. The more and more we allow ourselves to be that close to God, the more and more we realize, the more and more I realize, I am that. Tam asi, I am that. Tam asi, I am that. Tam asi, I am that. Every single one of those incarnations I have been praying to and meditating upon and reflecting on and crying to and dying to was me the entire time. And now I see. Tam I see. I am that too. This is beyond. This is beyond your problems. This is beyond your stresses. This is beyond your worries. This is beyond your limitations. This is beyond your lacks. This is beyond your desires. This is beyond your personal dreams. This is beyond all of it. Every little thought you think in a day. Everything you thought you needed to do or needed to have or needed to be, it is beyond it all. You can let it all go. Throw it all into the fire of Ram. Throw it all into the fire of God.